Backbreaker.
One, two, count. One.
Jeez. That was way harder than it should have been. Well, this seems like the difficulty went up way higher than it was yesterday somehow. Usually, it only takes 2 credits to get through a rumble. That time it took 3. And actually, in the last rumble I just played, it was me as the boss man and Warrior in the last 2, and I just had to use a credit because the timer was running out, and then all of a sudden he had like full power, and I couldn't get anything off, and almost lost on a full credit. But I see we got a few more viewers in here, so thanks everybody for watching. My little update thing isn't showing the names of anybody, but feel free to chat if you got any questions, or feel free to talk wrestling or whatever. And be sure to let me know if the audio levels are okay. If you can hear the game alright and my voice. I've got the mic positioned right between me and the speaker, so hopefully it's a good balance. Alright, we're going to do a tag team mode. So I'm going to go with Earthquake, and let's do DiBiase this time. Earthquake's my favorite to play as in this game just because he's huge, and the Earthquake splash is amazing.
This contest is scheduled for one fall, Earthquake. And from $1,000,000 man, Sam DiBiase versus Demolition.
So even though this is an arcade game, there's actually quite a bit of strategy involved with the gameplay that you kind of learn just after playing it a lot. You kind of get used to what the computer will do, and if you see them moving in a certain direction, you know they're kind of either going for a tag. If you see them going for a tag, you shouldn't bother them, because it's likely that as soon as you touch him, like right there, he was starting to walk towards the corner. I actually got lucky on that one and won the grapple. But oftentimes, if they're walking towards the tag and you grapple them, you're going to lose that grapple attempt. There you go. Oh, come on. And so occasionally there's little glitches like that where if you grab for the double team, I was too close to the ropes, and the partner usually will just punch across the ropes to attack. But if you're in just the right spot, they won't do anything. So you have to be a little bit towards the center of the ring, then they'll come into the ropes and attack. Or if you're right up on the ropes. Of course, you can double team. And double teaming is a little risky there because then it invites the other opponent to come in. And sometimes the computer player on your side is not very good, and their life will just significantly go down because they'll lose all of the grapples during that double team. So one strategy is to frequently tag in, but you always want the weakest of your two teammates to be on the outside because they'll slowly regain a little bit of life. There we go, earthquake splash. The splash is kind of, the problem with that is it's slow, and right as they go into the pin, like right there, my guy was still knocked out, and Crush was heading back to his corner. But as soon as you go for the pinfall, it opens up the count again so they can interfere and kick out of the pinfall. Look at that, I haven't even been playing as DiBiase, and he's almost got no life left. So I've really kind of failed on my strategy here. Tagging in and out fairly quick after about 2 grapple moves usually keeps you with the advantage and keeps your life up there high enough that you don't have to worry about. Like right now, we'll win the match, and the life goes up a little bit, but DiBiase is still only about 50%.
Now go for the next match.
Typically when you pick them up off the canvas like that too, you immediately gain the advantage. And then of course right there he was going for the tag, so almost had no chance of hitting that one. But usually you can get about 3 moves off in a row if you immediately pick them up. If they roll out of the way, it's a good idea to get out of the way and tag and see he's going over there. Sometimes you can cut him off, but usually it backfires. In those punch contests there, whoever gets 2 out of the 3 punches is the one who's going to get the move. So if I miss that 3rd one, then I usually switch from the punch button to the kick button, which is also the Irish whip. And occasionally you can reverse grapples, even if they had the advantage. There's some sort of a random code that runs in there that'll detect for a reversal. And sometimes you can just whip them off the side even if they got the advantage. Here we go, so there's a double team. So just briefly you get to control your partner while your main character is holding on to the opponent. Oh, come on, DiBiase. Unfortunately, like that, if the opponent is still in the ring and you go for a submission and your guy's on the outside, your partner, it gives you control of them, but if they don't step through the ropes, you can't control them until they do. And the computer controls when that happens. So oftentimes, it's better to wait on a submission until the illegal partner over here steps back through the ropes. Gives you a little bit more time. And that's a pretty risky move too. The elbow drop, you hit both buttons together when they're laying down by their head. I would say probably 9 out of 10 times they're going to roll out of the way. But if you do it just fast enough after a big move, usually it'll land, and if they're already weak enough. See, DiBiase's about dead there now. So I might put him out with the bear hug. Yep. The bear hug is one of the most effective submissions in the game, and usually when you put it on, they'll submit pretty quick. So even if the partner's in like that, they won't get there fast enough. And of course, the cage match, basically the same thing as all the other matches, but visually you have the cage around the ring. But the difference here is when you throw the guys to the ropes, instead of bouncing back, they hit the steel cage. So it takes off power, kind of like using the steps on the outside of the ring. So I'm going to do some quick tags here. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Pile driver. Oftentimes you can hit that elbow immediately after they hit the cage. So it stuns them just long enough to take care of it. Didn't get enough of that since I was too far across the ring. Oh, there's another bear hug. Yep. Wow, that was fast.
Now go for the next match.
There's really no guaranteed way to do almost anything in this game. I mean, you kind of get used to what happens in certain scenarios, but a lot of it kind of randomizes. So like a grapple move, each guy has about 3 unique moves that they do that it cycles through. And sometimes it just depends on how much life you have, how much the opponent has. There's a lot of paper, rock, scissors logic built into this game. And it is technically a button masher, but there's only specific areas where button mashing actually does anything. And I sometimes question whether how fast you button mash has any effect over how effective or powerful anything is. Because I've played it before where I've just tapped, 1 a second, really small like that, and had just the same amount of luck. So like when you're laying there, I don't think the speed that you tap really affects how fast you actually get up or not. I gotta tag out. There we go. Oh, big mistake. There's the leg. So here we go. Oh, pile driver. Hogan's not nearly weak enough for the $1 Million Dream. Once they get weak enough for a finisher, like I'm laying crooked there at an angle, that means you can hit finishers, and typically you're gonna get pinned. So I just used a new credit to buy back in all my life. Which really, with this game, of course, being an arcade game, it's all about taking your money. So. Oftentimes what I find is when you buy back in, the opponent gets a pretty big boost of energy too. And there's sometimes you'll put a quarter in, and you won't get a single offensive attack until you're back down to where you were before you put the quarter in. Which is really kind of crappy. Especially when I was a kid, and I had very limited quarters to play this game. Alright. $1 Million Dream time. There it is. He'll be out pretty quick. Yep.
Now go for the next match. It's time to fight with a powerful challenger. We snack on danger, dine on death. To fail every double face kick we face.
I love that. remember as a kid, it was so intimidating when you finally got to Legion of Doom. And they're really difficult. They have more life than the average wrestler, and their moves take off more, they do more damage. So in this mode especially, it's very important to do frequent tags. Usually after about 2 grapple moves, I'll go back and tag out. And one strategy that I think is pretty effective is if they're going for a tag, wait till they tag out and the other guy starts coming in. Then if you tag, usually that gives you a little bit of a bonus advantage as being the fresh guy into the match. Doesn't always work, especially against Legion of Doom. Like right there, I probably should have tagged out. Good. So I took too much damage before he tagged, but if he stays out there, he'll start regaining it, but I gotta be careful not to lose too much life as Earthquake. Alright, we're gonna double team. It's pretty risky with both of these guys out there. There we go. So sometimes if you notice the other guy's either in a grapple or a submission, that's a good time to actually put on a grapple or a submission of your own, since they can't break it up. Same thing with pinfalls. If you got double team going on and the other guys are grappling, you can go for a pinfall and there's usually not enough time for them to come break it up. But the same applies to your own partner too. But that double team cost us a lot of energy. There we go. So this is a double team that also kind of randomly happens if you're in the right position. Unfortunately, it makes it difficult to position yourself where you can actually get a stomp or an elbow drop off. That's not what I wanted to do. So when you hit both buttons together, depending on your position to the downed opponent, you'll either do a submission or a elbow drop. But if you're out of position, even by a couple pixels, then you run to the corner. And when you're knocked out, you get winded and it takes you longer to get back to your opponent or your partner. Nice. Oh, it didn't even work. That was lucky. Ah, it's one of his signature moves. Come on. One of the other gimmicks with this game to make you put more quarters in is the timer. So even if you can survive, like I'm barely surviving right now, but if you can survive, the timer will run out and you still got to put a quarter in. So I don't know if I'll be able to even finish this match before it runs down, because it goes way faster than it shows, but we'll see. I'm too close to him, he's going to kick me right off. Damn it. So I had to put a quarter in, which gave me all my life back, but it also usually gives them a boost, but apparently not enough since I beat him with one move. The funny thing is, had I not put that quarter in, or that credit, they would have beat me. There's no way I would have kicked out of that, even though it only took one move to finish him, and I probably could have got it off in the time I had left. But man, as a kid, I remember those situations and being so tempted to put another quarter in just to finish and win the match. And in some cases, like at least in the tag match, when you defeat Legion of Doom the first time, it puts you back in another series of tag matches leading up to another match with them. But in the Royal Rumble, you know, if you're the last guy in the ring with one other person, and to win that match, you got to put a quarter in, and there's only one other guy in the ring, you may waste a full quarter just for a few seconds of gameplay just to say that you won. And I did that on more than one occasion as a kid. Because you can't put your initials in unless you actually win the match. Very, very good money-making gimmick on this game. I got a lot of stomps off on that, so that was fairly effective. The stomps are pretty weak, but you can get several of them off, and probably do the equivalent damage as like an actual grapple move. Alright, I'm gonna get out of his way there. Gotta remember to keep doing my quick tags. You can also like take a step back and then punch, and 4 punches in a row will knock him down. So if you get 1 punch and then you just keep backing up, they'll try to take a step closer, and then you can punch them while they're walking forward. It's usually a good idea never to run at an opponent who's not dizzy. Whoa. Because they'll throw you right over the top. Especially in the Rumble. Can't even get out to tag, and my life's almost completely gone from that little series. Alright, come on. And I'm pretty convinced that this game dynamically changes the rules based on several factors, but mostly about increasing profit revenue. So outside the ring is pretty awesome because you have foreign objects out here like this road case. Come on, Earthquake, get out of the way. And you can also use the big stairs. But the other guy's smart. He's not coming in. That's Smash up there. Come on. You got to get back in the ring by the count of 20. Jeez, what a waste. There are some times if you get thrown out of the ring early in a match, you can destroy their entire life by hitting them over and over with the foreign objects, and then usually if you hit them right around the 17 mark and crawl in the ring, you can win by count out. And I've done that against the Legion of Doom once, which is amazing because they're pretty much impossible to defeat on a single credit. Like going from 1 credit all the way through the tag matches and then go up to the match. And multiple times I've been able to get to the Legion of Doom on a single credit, but I've never been able to defeat them without having to put in another coin. Come on. There's my timer already running low again. Come on, double team. Jeez, come on, the timer's already down again. Oh, I might do it. Oh, wow. Literally seconds to go. So, of course, in the operator settings on the board itself, you can change how much time is given for each credit, how much energy is done, whether there's a buy-in feature, the difficulty of the opponents, which really just means, you know, how much advantage they have in the rock, paper, scissors of the grapple. And I think I have everything set to the factory defaults right now. Which is pretty good. It's just difficult enough that there's definite challenge where you don't just walk through and defeat everybody. But even then, that's where that timer comes into play. Because if you're good enough to survive and not get pinned, the operators don't want you hanging out all day on a single credit. So they put that timer in place to guarantee that you're paying based on how much time you're spending on this game. But as a kid, I figured out the best way to stretch your quarters is to play the tag team mode. Because you can technically play probably a good 5 to 10 minutes. Jeez, come on. Gotta do it. Probably about 5 to 10 minutes on a single credit. as long as you're careful about tagging out and conserving your energy. Whereas in the Royal Rumble mode, you've got maybe 90 seconds to a minute or two, a couple minutes, because you not only have the timer, but you can be pinned and you can be thrown out. And at least if you're pinned, you can buy back in. If you get thrown out and you're the only player, the game's over. If you have like 3 or 4 players playing with you at the same time, if you get thrown out, you can immediately buy back in and choose your wrestler and then come into the Rumble again. So I'm going to risk trying to stop him here. No, it's not going to work. If they go for the pin and they're in like the lower left-hand corner of the screen, sometimes you can cut them off. But if they're coming from up above, they'll get the tag before you can even get close. Usually what happens is you run in there, you miss your running attack, and then you're stunned for just a second while the new guy comes in and immediately grapples and hits a big move. And usually that sets off a whole string of moves that takes your life all the way down. Oh, there we go. I'm too close to the other side. Bossman's going to come in and kick me, but love this move. One thing that's kind of unique, though, like I'm going to do it again. If the opponent that you're jumping on here, or hit your finisher on, or go for a pin, if their life is completely down to 0, oh man, he rolled out. If their life's completely down to 0, their partner won't even come in or try to break it up. So at least there's that. But typically you've got to knock them down really far. Look at that, I'm not going to hit the suplex. Oh, that was my own partner. There we go. At least Hogan got us stairs to the face. That's what I'm noticing tonight more than even last night. I played like, or this weekend, I played like 2 or 3 hours of this, and tonight I've seen more reversals than I've ever seen. Screw that. I see we got a few viewers on here. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm not going to continue that one. What's funny is I don't really have to put my initials in here because I don't have a good battery on the board itself. So as soon as I power this off, all the high score resets. Alright, let's do a Rumble. And we'll go with the Ultimate Warrior. So one thing I noticed on the stream there, because this is actually a CRT monitor, an original arcade monitor, it looks fine to the eye, but on a camera, because of the fresh rate of the scan rate of the CRT, depending on the camera settings, it shows that wavy line going across. So of course I don't see that with my own eye, but on the camera you can see it. And I've adjusted as much as I could to minimize it, based on exposure settings and stuff, and then try to balance it with the brightness around the room. But I'm going to have to figure out maybe different settings or how to manually configure it a little bit further. Jeez, come on. So that was actually a pretty risky move there for me to run at the earthquake. Because when you're in the Rumble, oh dang it, and you run towards the ropes and there's a guy standing there, all they have to do is lean over and top you over. Just body drop right over the top rope. Ooh, there we go. Oh, I might be able to put him out with sleeper. Nope. Both Demolition are weak though, and there's Hogan, he's weak. Jake's weak. There we go, big splash. So everybody technically should be able to be pinned pretty easy here. Dang it. So the goal in the Rumble obviously is to win, to be the last guy in the ring. But the high score table is really based on the number of eliminations. So that's where it gives you incentive to actually break up the pinfalls and submissions, because you want to be the one who pins or throws them out or submits them. There we go. Earthquake might be weak enough for this. Got him. And usually you want to avoid any of the new guys that are coming in, because they're going to be fully powered. So you want to try to stick to the guys that have been in the ring for a while. And of course the computer, as it is, and wanting to take your money, the new guys that come in the ring that are fresh will immediately target you and go right for you. And the targeting in this game is all automatic. There's no way to manually say you want to look at one guy over the other, which oftentimes causes a lot of problems when you have, in the Rumble here, when there's guys laying on the ground that you want to attack or pin. Oftentimes the guy that you want that's weaker, when you click the button, it'll attack the guy that's standing right next to him that's much stronger. So even like right there. Oh, I was able to break him up. Alright, so second credit entered. And of course, when you first put a new credit in, you get a little boost, but so do all the opponents. Warrior is one of the few guys that actually can body slam guys right over the top rope, even if they're completely fresh. Usually that only happens right at the beginning of the... Oh, there... Nope. At the beginning of a Rumble. Sometimes you can get 2 or 3 eliminations right immediately. Come on. There we go. Just by throwing them over. But, like, even though I just bought in, I had full life. No, it's not going to do it. There's always the risk, though, if you're standing next to the ropes with one of the guys that can do the body slam. Oh. Huge pile. So you can do those double pins. So if you see somebody getting pinned, you can jump on top to help make the pinfall happen. But you don't get credit for that as an elimination. The first person who went to pin. Oh. Right there. Just like that. Alright, let's go with Jake Roberts. And Jake does not body slam over the top rope, so... Oh, he does. Right as I say he doesn't, he did it. Let's see if I can take advantage of that. The funny thing about the body slam is when that move is done, it actually turns your character the opposite direction that you're looking. Wow, that was lucky. Hogan just came running in and I back body dropped him right over the top. So to do that body slam, you have to turn and then have yourself, like your opponent, between you and the ropes. And then when it actually does the body slam, it rotates properly, so they'll be slammed over the top. But usually it only does that for just the beginning of the match, even though Slaughter did that towards the end of the match on the last game. So, and there's also quite an amount of randomization in here too, with some of this stuff. Oh, see, I wasn't turned the right direction, otherwise he would have gone over the top. Boss man slam. Warrior's been in there long enough, he should be weak enough to get a DDT, but he's not. There we go. And you'll notice whenever I grab onto a guy in the headlock, before just pressing a button to do a move, I usually walk him out of the big group of people, and that's the best way to make sure that your focus stays on the guy that you want to attack. When you're in that whole group of all the wrestlers together, oftentimes you have no control over who you're actually looking at, and you'll start punching somebody, and the guy you want to punch, you're punching towards somebody on the opposite side, and if you get punched in the back, you immediately fall down. And it's easy to accidentally get punched like that and then fall down and then take a lot of damage. Oh. Wow. Hawk was trying to break up that pinfall. So like right there, I wanted to hit the guys that are laying on the ground and it won't let me do it. There we go. Yeah, right there. It turned me around right as Hawk punched and I went to the ground. Oh, there it is. Right over the top. Figure four. And again, submissions are not very effective, especially in the Rumble. You only get a ground submission only if their life is completely empty. Oh, there we go. I lost track of how many people I just eliminated so far, but seems like it's higher than average in this game. So, oh, that was good. If you see him grappling like that, if you get on the opposite side by the rope, sometimes they'll throw him, and you can do that back body drop to send him over. Or you get guys like Earthquake that'll come target you. I did not want him to pin. There we go. Maybe he'll... Nope. He's just gonna watch. If they don't even try to break it up, then you know you got the 3 count. Oh. There we go. Animal is known to walk you over and just dump you right over the top, especially at the end like this. Wow. Very rare to hit that elbow. There it is. Yeah, he might kick out of this. Oh, wow. Surprising. I've had that happen where I've hit him with 2 or 3 DDTs, and they keep kicking out and keep kicking out as the timer runs down and forces me to put a quarter in. And then, of course, I pin him in a full life bar, and it's over. A waste of a quarter. Let's see who we have in here. Got a few viewers. Some familiar names in there, so if anybody's watching and has any questions or anything, feel free to send a note in the chat there. I don't know how accurate the count is or the chat viewer thing is on my... Oh, look at that. I got 9. So I finally got the top honor here of champion. Now, I've never eliminated everyone in the entire Rumble, but I think my best is like 11 with DiBiase. Because with DiBiase, of course, his finish is a submission, so anybody who's just a little bit weak enough for a finisher, you hit that, and they're very likely to be eliminated pretty quickly. And usually, the other guys don't break it up as fast as they would with other moves or pins. Alright, I'm going to take a drink real quick of my Diet Dew. So before I start another game, and according to my viewership, I have just myself in here right now, so I'm talking to nobody. But this cabinet I've been working on. This is the first time the second time I played on Friday night is when I actually wired up the control panel. So you may notice as I'm playing it, the control panel is sliding, and I keep pushing it forward. That's because I haven't actually put the hinges back on, or the little plate here that holds the glass in and everything. So it's just kind of loose on here, but I have brand new control panel artwork. The actual control panel itself we recreated from scratch by drawing the original plan up and having it cut on a CNC mill. And then I put all the artwork on. Brand new joysticks, new buttons. The actual labels here and the start buttons all come from an original WrestleFest kit. And I actually have boxes full of WrestleFest parts because I always buy any WrestleFest I find, working or not, and usually they're conversions of other cabs. I pick it up just to take all of the WrestleFest stuff that I can get. So I have tons of the marquees, even though the one I have in here is a reprint that I don't like at all now that it's lit up. It's not dark like the others, and I have quite a few that are reverse screen printed that look really good. But this cabinet itself was an original Data East, Captain America, and the Avengers. And there's pictures of WrestleFest. If you try to find a dedicated WrestleFest photo on Google Images, this is the cabinet that you see with all of the original artwork. So most people assume that was the dedicated machine for years and years, because that's the only picture of one out there with all of the stuff still intact. And that's what this machine is. And so when I eventually found this, it was a golden tee. And I thought, oh man, there it is. That's what I want, the WrestleFest that I've been looking for forever. And I get it, and I start taking it apart and looking inside, and I find a sticker in there that's stapled in with the original details, and it says Data East, Captain America. Like, oh man. But Data East cabinets were frequently used, just like the Konami Simpsons and Turtles cabs that are the 4-player control panels. Those were commonly converted to WrestleFest, so as a kid, that's what I remember playing on. And I had one, and I traded it for this cabinet, which I sometimes regret now, but this is still a great cabinet. The monitors, we both had good monitors in there. This is a really nice, clean monitor, so it's worked out pretty good. The disadvantage is this cabinet is just a hair bigger than the Konami cabs, so everything that I got, like my marquees up here, even the glass and the control panel, it's about a ½ inch larger in width than the Konami cabs. So everything that I had already acquired for Konami conversions was too short. So this bezel that's on here right now, and it's a little dark off this camera, but you can kind of see it, is actually a reprint from Escape Pod from Mentor Graphics. They did a great job. It looks amazing. They reused the photos from the side art that they also reproduce, but the side art photos they took in here and then redrew like all of the text and everything, so it's super clean. It actually looks better than the original I have that was cut up from a conversion cab. And it looks fantastic, and they printed it and made this plexi. It's reverse printed right to the plexi, and it's the perfect measurements, so it fits snug, and it's amazing. So I highly recommend them. So if you go to escapepod.com, I believe it is, they have a ton of really great, unique arcade artwork. Stuff that usually isn't covered on most other arcade reproduction artwork sites, just like WrestleFest, and you'll start finding WrestleFest around on other sites now. But the bezel, this is the first time the bezel's ever been reproduced, and it's amazing. I'm going to order a marquee because the one, like I said, the one I have here, not so great. So I'm so impressed with their ability to do this plexi printing that I'm going to have them do the Translite style directly printed on plexi as well to my perfect measurements of this cabinet. So that's pretty much all that's left, and I'm planning on doing custom side art. So it's just a black cab right now. The original WrestleFest side art was just the poster printed, you know, as a large, you know, 16 by 20 poster or something. And it was designed because these were kits. They would just put them on any cab, paint over an original cab, put those stickers on, you're good to go. So, unfortunately, they never made really nice custom side art. So I'm going to design some and have it printed, and I'll probably use the Captain America template, which was only about from the midsection up to the top, but it has the contours of the cab built into it. So I'm going to use that as the template, but then create my own custom WrestleFest art for both sides using photos of all the original wrestlers from the game. I think it's going to look beautiful. So when I'm all done with this, I've got to figure out a better place, because right now, as you can see, it's a little cramped with my other games, and this is my business office, so I've got about less than 12 inches between the control panel and my desk behind me. So it's really tight, which is why the cameras are so tight as well. But it's a lot of fun. This is absolutely my favorite wrestling game, my favorite arcade game. It's amazing. Alright, we're going to play as Demolition. I love Demolition, but I don't often play as them in this game, mainly because they don't have any like really special finishing moves. Crush has a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, which is unique from every other character, but Smash only has a suplex that is the same as the one DiBiase does. And unfortunately, unlike the Legion of Doom, Legion of Doom can do the Doomsday device off the top rope, whereas Demolition does not have their tag team finisher. And that's mainly because they're playable characters, but I think they could have done it where, just like you do with a regular double team, when you have an opponent that's weak enough, if you were to do the double team tag here, they could have animated the Demolition finisher, which basically they do a backbreaker and then the other guy comes off the top with an elbow drop to knock him off the other guy's knee. So it could have been done. It would have been awesome. But technically they're the only official tag team in the game that you can play as. So Smash has that backbreaker, but again DiBiase has that same backbreaker. Smash and DiBiase are almost the exact same moveset, with the exception of course, the finisher. For DiBiase, he's got the $1 Million Dream, and then Smash just does a suplex. Oh, there we go. Let's do some double team here. So you can also do top rope attacks off of not just the top ropes or the upper posts, but the lower posts as well. But they're really difficult because as you climb, it takes a while to climb up there. Oh, look at that, he's stunned. That's usually the only way you can ever hit that, is if they stand up and they're stunned. If they stand up and they're not stunned, they'll just simply walk out of range. Oh, here we go. This will be the suplex. Nope. Oh, he must not. He is weak. I'm gonna hit the tilt-a-whirl backbreaker for the finish here. Oh. So again, as I mentioned earlier on the stream, if you see the guy, if he's weak and he's going for that tag, if you try to stop him from making the tag, you're gonna lose that grapple every time. So it's better just to let him go over there and tag and not worry about it, because that costs me like half my life bar now. And really, as soon as if you have a partner on the apron that's waiting for a tag, if their life bar is all the way full, you want to go tag, because the life will regenerate while they're sitting out there. There's the suplex. That's the finish right there. Jeez. See, it's not a very effective finish. But it's also Hulk Hogan we're talking about. But Perfect is very weak, so this probably will finish him off right here. There it is. Yeah, I got him.
Congratulations! Now go for the next match.
Yeah, I see we got 10 Spence watching. Thanks for coming in here, guys. And Macaw 45, is it? Very cool. Really appreciate you hanging out and watching some WrestleFest. You'll notice I changed my Twitch layout just a little bit. I swapped out the spotlights in the background behind the screens with a photo from WrestleMania 3 at the Pontiac Silverdome in 93,000. There we go, going to the outside. I'm going to try to use these stairs. If you time it just right, you can just... Oh, shoot, I hit my own partner. Bad move. Alright, we're going to do some double team. Oh. So I probably would have won that had my partner taken care of Boss Man on the corner over there. There we go. Backbreaker. He's too close to Boss Man now. Oh well, I'm gonna just have to go for the pin. Alright, I'm gonna try for a big splash off the top rope. Nope. Got up too fast. Bossman's got plenty of life left. Let's see if he'll stand up. Oh. Going for the splash. Go with the Boston Crab. I resisted the urge to put a quarter in. I was like the continue screen with these little picture-in-picture videos. As a kid, I was like, man, they're just begging me to put another quarter in. I can't let them down. I got to put more money in. Alright, we're going to go with the classic combination. Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. I'm going to try this one credit and see how far I can go without putting another quarter in. I dodged it. Ooh, there we go. This is not what a good guy does. What's Hogan doing? Oh, come on. There it is, big boot. The big leg. Boom. Clothesline and a big splash. Boom. That's about as perfect as it gets for a match there. 100% life at the end. Hit both finishers at the same time. But of course, that's Hogan and Warrior for you. But again, that goes to show you the strategy of staying in your corner and tagging out. Didn't mean to double team tag, but frequent tags and not letting yourself get caught in the opponent's corner. Much like real wrestling. I'm still amazed, you know, this game is about 25 years old now. And it still plays better than most. Oh, come on, punch him. Come on, Warrior. It plays better than most wrestling games since then, including some of the new ones on the next-gen modern system. And actually, a few years ago, before THQ shut down... Oh, here's the big leg already. I'm going to go tag out instead of go for the pin. Hit the big splash. Nice. Got him. Nope. Before THQ went under, they had actually brought back WrestleFest as a mobile app on the iPhone. And it had so much cool potential, and yet they really screwed up with it. Because they made it a mobile app only, and it only was for the iPhone, that kind of limited how many people could access it that wanted it. And the fact that it was touch controls, kind of, you know, it should be pretty simple. This game just uses 2 buttons and a joystick, but when you're touching to move, walk around, and tap on a touchscreen, it wasn't responsive. And so instead of just recreating the game as it was, they rebuilt it with the same concept, but they added all sorts of goofy graphics, and they put in modern wrestlers and other guys that were never in the game, which was cool. That was a great idea. But instead of actually recreating like this hand-drawn art style that really is like one of the coolest parts about this whole game is the artwork, they actually took like the 3D rendered models from their other games and just rendered them out with like a cartoon shader or something, and you could tell, and it was really cheesy looking. And so it was a great concept, but they really screwed up on it. And part of it was, I mean, the company, they probably already knew they were going out, so they just kind of didn't put enough effort into it. But the idea was that it would come out on the consoles, on the 360 and PS3, with the Xbox Live Arcade, and it would be something that you could play online against other people, multiplayer rumbles, and there's still a ton of potential for that. So the fact that they somehow got rights to do it, because obviously Technos, I don't think, is even in business anymore. So I don't know where they would go to, you know, get the rights to the actual code or anything. But it could be redone. And especially now that WWE is doing more mobile device games. They did a version of the 2K15 game on mobile, which is amazing, actually. It really impressed me. To simulate the full 3D version from the consoles on a small screen. And then, of course, they have card games, and NetherRealms actually created an amazing WWE fighting game that's mobile only that looks just like, you know, Injustice and Mortal Kombat. But of course, being on a phone, controls are simplified and the moveset's simplified. But that game is actually really good. They could easily turn it into a console, you know, a downloadable digital game that would be pretty successful, actually. But it'd be great if they someday properly recreated WrestleFest with 2D graphics and made it look just like this, just with new wrestlers. Or maybe even a creator wrestler mode like the Japanese games like Fire Pro Wrestling. Fire Pro Wrestling is probably my favorite. I guess in general for wrestling, that's probably my favorite wrestling game of all time. Here we go. Punch him. There we go. Even though I play this one more than any other wrestling game. But Fire Pro, you can do so much. You can even emulate this game pretty closely in terms of creating the wrestlers, and the overall look is very similar to the amount of colors per character and just the look and feel of the whole thing. I wasn't too careful about my tagging there. I've got Hogan down too far. But if I use Warrior too much, then eventually they're gonna gain the advantage. I should tag, but I'm gonna try. Nope. Should have tagged. Yep, look at that. When you do frequent tags, the freshest person in the ring usually has a little bit of a bonus. See, like that, even though Hogan is weak. Yeah, just a little bit of a bonus on the grapple. Ah, lost it. So now I'm in trouble. Come on. So I just have to be careful using Warrior. Not going to do anything risky here. I'm going to stick with some basic stomps. Dang it. That was something. I was kind of stuck going into that grapple, even though I knew he was going towards the tag, so I knew that wasn't happening. Got lucky with that clothesline there. There we go. Didn't want to do that. There it is, big boot. Nope, not weak enough for the leg drop. Alright, he's going for the tag. I'm going to let him do it. Oh. Alright, we probably got him here. Yep. Come on. Shoot. Come on, Hogan. Oh, I got the knees up. Alright, that might do it. Oh, there we go. Barely. So now I'm going up against Legion of Doom. Yeah, these guys are so powerful, and I have less than half life for each of my guys. So it's pretty much guaranteed I'm going to be clotheslined off the top rope and pinned for the 3. We're going to give it our best shot. I'm going to do frequent tags, 1 grapple. There we go. Ooh, nice. So against the Legion of Doom, this is... Oh, what happened? Oh, Warrior ran into me. This totally backfired. Ooh, that was good, except for I hit the guardrail. Come on. Oh, man. Oh, wow, that sucked. Hogan got winded after getting up from the guardrail and couldn't walk, and then I was stuck. I picked up the weapon instead of ran. Alright, we're going to continue this one. Yeah, it's really dangerous on the outside. You can get a huge advantage, or you can get totally screwed over like that. But I took the risk. I could have tried to get back in the ring faster, and it didn't. Boy, and they're still screwing me over already. Come on, Hogan. knocked out that quick.
Alright.
Wow. Oh. I blocked it by holding the ropes, and then I got hit by Animal. Hogan must have a bad case of diarrhea, seeing as how he can't walk very fast this whole match. There we go. And what's funny is there's actually some pretty crazy real stories about wrestlers who have to work that night and have a little bit of a stomach sickness. There's actually a pretty great story about Andre the Giant. You definitely do not want to be sat on by Andre when he has a stomach illness. Oh, come on. We're not going to repeat this again. There we go. That's how it's done. Oh, bad move. Maybe not.
And what you gonna do, macho man, when the whole world falls amid us?
Pappy7 Mania running wild. Thanks for the follow, Pappy7. Thanks for hanging out and watching some WrestleFest tonight. There we go. Let's see if I'll be able to pull this off. Alright, come on. Nope. Oh, come on, get up. Oh, look at my timer, it's starting to run down too. I'm trying to do this in one credit. Come on. Oh. There it is. And the big leg. Oh, I'm gonna get him. Wow. Atomic leg drop for the win. New tag team champions. Wow. Jeez. I swear the difficulty on this has gone up significantly since I played it 2 days ago. The funny thing is you regain a little bit of life between matches, but that's like, if you're running a gauntlet or something and you have multiple matches in a single night, that makes sense. But that was like a complete new week. I should have been fresh. Alright, we're going to go into the Rumble mode now. Alright. Royal Rumble. I'm going to go with the Big Boss Man. Going into the Hall of Fame in just a few weeks. 3 weeks from this past Saturday. So one strategy here with certain guys, there we go, threw him right over the top. If you grab him in the headlock and walk him to the ropes, and then you put them under the headlock between you and the ropes. Sometimes you'll get a body slam that will send them right over the top, even when they have full life. Let's try it with Hogan. There he goes. Sometimes it helps to like be walking towards the ropes and then quickly turn around and hit the button right at the same time. It may just be random in terms of the way the body slam animation comes into play like every second or third move. So sometimes you can control it that way. But it doesn't always body slam over the top. It sometimes turns you to face the ring. So that's where if you turn just at the last second, the body slam animation goes backwards the other direction. Nope. And it's a good idea if you can use it on the Legion of Doom, because even in the Royal Rumble, they're more powerful than everybody else in the game. Pile driver. The other bad thing is if you're trying to do that body slam trick here, and all of a sudden you don't have enough energy to lift them up, they can reverse it by back body dropping you over the top, and then you're eliminated. And when you're playing one player, if you go over the top rope, that's game over. If you're at least being pinned, you can always buy back in for life, but once you go over the top, it's game over. Didn't break him up in time. So again, of course, you want to get not only win the match, but you want to have the most eliminations. So that's where it makes sense to break up any submissions or pinfalls, even though that means the match is going to go a lot longer and more likely you're going to have to put another quarter in because of the timer. So Bossman's pretty risky because he has the pile driver and the body slam, which both can be reversed as a back body drop. So if you're trying to eliminate him at the ropes, there's a good chance you could get thrown over the top. There we go. Oh, that worked. Nice. Wow. Now I'm just getting beat down. There it is, Bossman Slam. Oh, look at that. I almost got the Earthquake Splash, too. There we go. Oh, so here's a glitch, too. If you go to do a running dive move like that, and one of the other wrestlers tries to attack the guy that you're about to dive on, it screws up your animation. So you still run, but you always miss, even if they're still laying down. There we go. So, oh, DiBiase, come on. So my timer's about out. I'm going to put another credit in, which also means I'm going to roll out of the way before he hits. And I can hit the splash. Oh, I put the knees up. Alright, that was a little cheap. Whoa. And then Hawk stole my elimination. Alright, here we go. Bossman Slam. Into the Boston Crab. Yeah, and see, Hawk's not breaking it up, which means DiBiase's life is really low. Not low enough to submit in that, but low enough. Oh. Low enough I should have been able to hit my splash on him. Jeez. There we go. There it is. Oh, don't steal that. Wow, he totally stole that. If they have no life left, you can't kick out the pin. What a ripoff there. I did all the work on DiBiase and he took my pin. Jeez. Yeah, you never want to be the last one in the ring with one of the Demolition, or one of the Legion of Doom, because they will screw you over just like that. That's how it goes sometimes. DiBiase. So I'm trying to do this in only 50 cents each game. Because that's usually all I had to spend when I was a kid. Of course, now owning the machine, it's like there's no challenge if you just continue in all the time. So I try to set limits on how much I actually play through, especially like tag mode or even the Rumble here. I mean, you can always guarantee you'll win unless you get thrown over the top rope if you just keep buying in. Jeez, look how fast that was. Those were the times that I would get so mad as a kid, especially when I only had 50 cents to play, and you get thrown out that early. There went a whole quarter, and that was like less than a minute. We're going to do that again. And yet on the last game, I almost made it all the way to the end in a single quarter. Oh, wow. That was even worse. I think DiBiase is cursed tonight. Let's get some revenge on Hawk. Or not. Big pile driver on Hawk. Oh. The Legion of Doom, for some reason, have the ability to stop running towards you right at the split second when you're about to hit a move. Some of the other computer characters can do that too, but not nearly with the frequency that Legion of Doom does. Typically, when you throw them to the ropes, especially if you get thrown to the ropes by the computer, there's nothing you can do unless it randomly chooses to allow you to grab the ropes. And I'm not even sure how it chooses that. Because it's pretty rare to happen. And usually when it happens, the computer knows it's going to happen before you do, so they'll follow you in with a big clothesline. So even if you... Well, that was lucky there. Even if you do grab the ropes, usually they're following you through with a clothesline, so you can't do anything about it. Oh, nice. So we eliminated Ultimate Warrior with a $1 Million Dream. Perfect. Looks like he's weak enough to go out. Let's see. Nope, not yet. Big back elbow. There we go. Fist drop. Oh, Hogan went for the leg drop, but look, he's going to miss. There it is. He's going to give up, I think. Yep. Big knee to Hogan's back. Hawk is still in there. I got to fix that. There it is. And, of course, Hogan breaks it up. Wow. Animal... Oh, there we go. Break out. Both the Legion of Doom eliminated after I worked him over. Alright, come on, Earthquake. There we go. So that's a dangerous thing to do. It paid off, but by running towards him, especially when he grabs the ropes, he could have easily thrown me over the top of the back body drop. Just like, there. Jeez, stupid, stupid, stupid. So you want to avoid doing the high-risk moves like the elbow drop on the ground in a Rumble, especially when your life is low. So alright, there's my second credit. So now I'm on my last quarter. Oh, so now I've got him held here for somebody else to attack, but there's nobody around to help kick him. That's, oh, there goes Earthquake. Oh, I could have gone out there too. So that double team, if you find somebody standing around Dizzy, jeez, you can use the B button to grab them from behind for double teams, which is great if somebody else is around to help double team. Or if you use the A button, then it puts them in a sleeper hold. Alright, I'm gonna go for a high risk top rope move. Shouldn't have done it. Oh, it worked. Paid off. Pile driver. Jeez. Again, not following my own rules. Alright. Wow. I'm just gonna go for the pin. Break him up. Wow. Oh, he's gonna submit, yep. Alright. Oh, this could be over quick. Yep. Wow. Alright, so I did in 50 cents, and I still had over half my life left on that second quarter. Pretty cool. That was always the best as a kid, is actually win the Rumble, especially if you could do it with only 50 cents. And really, there's no way to do it on a single quarter because the timer will run out. You could get all the way to the end and still have a lot of life left, but the timer will run down and it will be game over unless you buy in. So they've got it timed properly. So to win the Rumble, it's going to be a minimum of two credits. Let's see who else we have in here watching. We've got Ferris419 and Macaw and Pappy7 still here. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you see, if you haven't followed yet, go ahead and click the follow button. We also play pinball. Of course, there's a lot of wrestling-related pinball and arcade games. I've got WrestleMania from Stern, the newest pinball machine, the wrestling pinball machine, plus the Royal Rumble arcade. Well, not the Royal Rumble arcade, the Royal Rumble pinball machine. WrestleFest, obviously. I've got Superstars, Matt Mania, WrestleMania arcade, plus Bad Dudes, RoboCop, a whole bunch. I've got probably about 50 total arcade games and 7 pinball machines. So this channel, we just run through all sorts of stuff. So this is actually the first time I've been streaming arcade machines. Friday night I did the first stream for WrestleFest, and then tonight just a little bit. Probably play a little bit longer, then I'm going to hang it up for the night. But I'm going to eventually this week sometime get the WrestleMania arcade game set up, and we'll play that. Alright, let's do tag team again. This time we're going to go with Mr. Perfect and Ted DiBiase. And if you're interested in the pinball, there's a lot of great pinball players out here on Twitch now. I think you can click Pinball Wizards at the top of the stream if you're watching in a browser, and there's a ton of great pinball streamers out there. And if you want to watch some of my pinball machines, check out the highlights and the video on demand. And I've got a lot of good gameplay of the newest code update for the WrestleMania Limited Edition. And then there's also Royal Rumble gameplay from about a week ago, I think. We played a lot of Royal Rumble, which is a great pinball machine. It's so awesome. And if you're not into wrestling, I've also got Pinbot and Genesis from Gottlieb. And I've got Firepower and a Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street. And I've got a Batman pin that I'm working on that's almost ready to be playable. So that'll be on the stream here probably in the next week or two. I've got to make space in the house here to bring it in from the garage. I went into the perfect flex really quick. Alright, we're going to tag out to DiBiase. Oh. Let him tag the Earthquake. I love that standing dropkick. That was a classic Mr. Perfect move. What's the other? Oh, can't lift Earthquake. Nice. Those type of reversals don't happen nearly as frequently as the others, but I like to see them. Yeah, this game has such great animation, and they really did it. Oh man, they really did a great job of replicating each individual wrestler, so they feel like they're completely different characters. A lot of wrestling games, the characters look differently, but they all play identical, especially in arcade games. Wow. So you'll never see that in real life. Earthquake in real life was about 450 to 475. And Mr. Perfect, even though he was perfect, is certainly not going to be suplexing Earthquake. Not like that, at least. Oh. But you would see this. The Earthquake splash on Mr. Perfect. I don't know if they ever feuded or had any kind... I don't remember them ever fighting each other. Because they were both bad guys. Come on. I think I got him on this one. Yep. And there's the $1 Million Dream. He would have been finished off.
Now go for the next match.
That was a lucky kick out there. So when I started the stream tonight, I had 30 credits in there, and I'm down to 7. So if I was actually paying quarters, this would have been kind of an expensive series of gameplay here. There we go, double team. And as a kid, I was lucky to have maybe $1. At best, maybe $2 if it was a special occasion. So my favorite place to go as a kid, we have Wonderland, which was the nickel arcades. So you pay, like, at the time it was like $1.50 to get in, and then all the games were 5 cents. And most of the games, they usually required 2 nickels, so it was 10 cents a game. But man, for that price, I could play a lot longer. And then we had another arcade that opened up shortly after that one that was $5 admission, but then everything was on free play all day. And so my grandpa would take me to that arcade, and for $5, he'd drop me off there usually around noon or something, and I'd stay until he'd force me to go, usually about 3 hours later. 3 to 4. I used to have my birthday there whenever I could, and we'd go there early in the day, and then my mom would come in and check on us every couple hours, and we'd stay there until closing. And oftentimes I'd be on this WrestleFest machine the entire time. They used to have stools in there, and if I went during the week or something, you know, the place would be dead, and I could just pull up a stool and just sit there and play this game non-stop. So fun. Alright, well, let's see, who's else? Got 5 viewers in here. Very cool. Let's see if I can get the name list to show up. Ah, there's Waffle House. Thanks for stopping in. I'll play a little bit longer. I still have 7 credits. Let's go ahead and back into the Rumble mode. I think I'll just play until my credits are gone, and that'll be 30 quarters used on the stream so far. And how long does it say I've been on here? Hour and 42 minutes. Wow. I didn't know I was on that long. The big man earthquake, always my favorite. The earthquake splash is one of the coolest moves in the whole game. It's not very good in the Royal Rumble because when there's so many guys in here, by the time you're done jumping around and run off the ropes to do the splash, usually somebody's already picked up the opponent or tried to attack him, which initiates a glitch in the game that means you're going to miss guaranteed. You'll still keep doing the animation, and you'll run and jump into the middle of the air and just land and hit the ground. But the other advantage with Earthquake is he has a very powerful bear hug submission finisher, and he can throw guys over the top rope with a body slam. Let's see if I can do it. Nope. So he's very effective in the Rumble. A little bit slower than the other guys, but a little more powerful. And the bear hug really usually finishes faster than most submissions. So if the guy's weak enough, you can just walk right up to him and put him in the bear hug. Similar to using the $1 Million Dream with DiBiase. But the animation is a little bit faster, so you're more likely to submit him before somebody can break you up. Wow. So of course the goal here is to win, but you also want those eliminations. So I'm always trying to break up any pinfalls or submission attempts so I can get that elimination. And oftentimes I do all the work damaging the guys, and then the new guy comes in and targets me, and then I miss out on all the eliminations of the guys that I weakened. Which is happening big time right now. Come on, there we go. Oh, so now I'm screwed because now I'm targeting Hawk. So this is what I mentioned earlier. Unless you can get that animation... Oh, wow. If you can get that animation going before somebody else targets that guy, then you're okay, but... Oh, there's the bear hug. Yep, just like that. Oh, there we go. Huge body slam over the top. Wouldn't let me kick him out of there. So if a guy's too weak and they're pinned and they have 0 life left, it won't even let you kick out or kick them off. Look at that. I need to put in another quarter. So even though you buy in, like, he's still winded and walking super slow at a disadvantage. And of course, when you buy in, everybody else in the Rumble gets just a little bit of a bonus too. There we go, Boston Crab. One of my favorite feuds of this era was Earthquake versus Hulk Hogan. And Earthquake was fairly new at the time. And he just attacked Hogan violently from behind. Pearl Harbor attack. And then he crushed him multiple times, broke his ribs, sent him to the hospital, and Hogan was out for months. And I remember as a kid being so concerned for Hogan's welfare. And being so involved and totally buying into everything. And they used to put they put an address up on the screen to send get well cards to Hulk Hogan and send him letters. And I remember writing a letter, and my grandpa walked me to the post office to mail the letter off. And then probably a month or so later, I actually got a postcard response. That was, of course, just a pre-printed postcard. It wasn't a real signature or anything. But I still have it too. And it was so cool to get that postcard. And of course now I know that, you know, it was all part of the show. And Hogan was actually out shooting that wonderful movie Suburban Commando. And that was also about the time, if you remember Tugboat, oh, buy in again. So again, I'm on 75 cents, which I don't like to spend more than 50 cents on a single Rumble, but oh well. Tugboat was Hogan's best friend, and eventually turned on the Bushwhackers, who he was teaming with when they were fighting Earthquake, and he turned on them and joined up with Earthquake and formed the Natural Disasters, which was an amazing giant fat tag team. But what a great combination. Two guys that weigh over 400 pounds, nearing 500, teaming together, crushing people left and right. So maybe he'll whip him over here and I can back body drop him over the top. Nope. He's going to go for the bear hug. I'm going to let him win that one. Jeez. Tried to sneak attack. Didn't work. Oh, there's the big boot. Here it is. Earthquake splash. Now, because this is Animal, he may kick out or roll out of the way. Nope, he didn't. Let's see. And that extra quarter gave me full life. I had almost full life at the end of this, so sadly that usually is a waste of a credit, even though that desire to win the Royal Rumble always overcame when I put in a quarter. Whereas I'd probably get more gameplay by just losing and letting the Rumble lose and starting over and getting more time out of it. But even if you only get a little gameplay, if you actually win, it feels pretty good. So I got 4 credits left, $1. So to make that extend just a little bit longer, we're going to go tag team. And we're going to play till there's no more credits. And I'm going to go with my favorite team of Earthquake and Sergeant Slaughter. I always picked the two guys that were the biggest. And Slaughter at the time was the turncoat that had sided with Saddam Hussein and the Iraqis during the Gulf War. And people hated him so much until he was finally redeemed when he returned back to the U.S. But if you remember, Sergeant Slaughter was not just a wrestler, he was a G.I. Joe. So he was actively included in the G.I. Joe cartoon show. And that's what made it all the worse when he turned on America and he joined with the Iraqis. Not only did he turn on the people of America, he turned on the G.I. Joes. What a great time. Alright, so I screwed up earlier when I was doing this, but so far this is going pretty well. Better get back in. So I got some major advantage out of that. I still have full life and they're completely wasted. If you remember Demolition was originally Axe and Smash, and then they added Crush. Oh. And eventually Crush, and of course in this game it's just Crush and Smash. Eventually Crush took over as one of the primary members, and Axe was sent packing. And I'm not entirely sure of all the story around Axe when he left the company. There was just some weird, I guess, some political stuff that happened. So he left the company, and then they moved forward with Crush and Smash until about, I believe it was maybe late 91, sometime in 92. And that's when Smash became the Repo Man. And Crush went on to be the good guy, Kona Crush from Hawaii. And then eventually turned back to the dark side, became Evil Crush, and feuded with Macho Man Randy Savage. And started wearing dark clothing and face paint. And then as the 90s wore on, then he became the leader of a motorcycle gang and had facial tattoos and all sorts of ridiculous stuff going on then. I think my favorite, though, was Kona Crush. And his feud with Doink the Clown at WrestleMania 9, when there was the second Doink, when Doink crawled into the ring and swapped out with the second Doink. And then they ended up winning the match and revealing that there was more than one Doink. A lot of people hate that WrestleMania 9. I really like it just because it has, you know, there's a lot of nostalgia around it, even though overall, sure, there's not a ton of great matches, and the finish to the main event is something that politically was motivated, and a lot of people didn't agree with. Bret Hart was the champion going in, and he had been feuding with Yokozuna, the giant sumo wrestler. And he retained his title against Yokozuna, which actually was a pretty decent match considering Yokozuna is as big as he is. He was so agile and athletic. And then, of course, Yokozuna, of course, they cheated. Mr. Fuji threw the salt into Bret's eyes when he had him in the sharpshooter. And Yokozuna won the title, and then out comes Hulk Hogan from the back. And Hogan had been gone for quite a while. And he comes out. He had a tag match earlier in the night, which was kind of a way to throw off people's thoughts that he might somehow get involved in the main event. Well, he comes out, and then he challenges Yokozuna, and Mr. Fuji accepts. And Yokozuna has one of the shortest championship reigns of all time, of literally only a minute or two, because Hogan eventually challenged him, hit the big boot and the leg drop, and that was all over. So I think that's why a lot of people really don't like that WrestleMania. The other matches were pretty decent, and I always thought that was one of the coolest WrestleManias in terms of the overall visual presentation, because it was at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, so it was all in daylight, and they did kind of a theme of like the Roman Empire kind of a thing, where they had everybody wearing togas, and they had these great entrances. The Undertaker came out riding on a hearse with a huge, like a vulture. And he fought the Giant Gonzalez, Giant Gonzalez was a terrible wrestler. He was better in WCW, but when they brought him in as Giant Gonzalez, they basically made him a generic giant who didn't do anything but chop people in the face, which is very much like the Great Khali from recent years. But that feud was pretty short-lived. It started the Royal Rumble, so out of nowhere, this giant man standing nearly 8 feet tall, wearing an airbrushed bodysuit with fur on it, comes in and just immediately attacks The Undertaker and eliminates him from the Royal Rumble, and then walks over the top rope and eliminates himself, or maybe, I don't even know if he was even officially an entrant in that Rumble. And then they continued to feud off and on up until WrestleMania, and then they had a blow-off match that, I don't know if it even lasted till SummerSlam of that year, and then he disappeared. But in those few months that he was around, he left such a memorable impact that people always remember the Giant Gonzalez for the goofy, ridiculous character that he was, to the point where they've made several action figures of him. And he's actually somewhat collectible. They had a rare action figure that actually had real fur attached to the toy. And that one's actually pretty hard to find, and if you do find it, it's not cheap. There we go. Alright, tagging out to Earthquake. Time for an Earthquake splash. No, I better not. He's going for the tag. Let's throw him into the cage. Boom. Of course, Warrior is not weak enough. Jake is probably pretty weak. There we go. Big splash. Oh, man. To me, that looks even more devastating than the actual Earthquake splash. To see a giant man swan diving off the top rope. Here we go. I'm too close to Jake. He's going to step in and kick me off as soon as I get the pin. If Warrior doesn't even roll out. Yep. Oh, look at that. Warrior turned it around right into the ultimate splash, but I'm going to squash him again. Come on. Oh, couldn't get him. Oh, DDT. Wow. But we won. Good.
Now go for the next match.
So thanks again, everybody who's still watching. I see we've got 5 viewers on there, which may include my MooBot moderator, but thanks for watching. Really appreciate any viewers in here. A fairly obscure game. I put it under the arcade, or under retro, even though They do have a game on Twitch, or a listing for WrestleFest, but I would be surprised if anybody would search it, and it would probably be the very bottom of the list if people were looking at games. So under retro, there's more people watching typically, even though most of it is console or MAME emulation if it's an arcade game. But if you're a new viewer, thanks for coming in here. Make sure to hit that follow button. I've got a ton of arcade games and other pinball machines, and if you're on the computer, you can scroll down. I've got a list of all my working games and my pinball machines. And if you have any requests for gameplay, feel free to send a message, or you can tweet me at DSCreator with a K. Or just send me a message in the chat. Because these games are not convenient to switch up the camera settings, I usually can't change while I'm in the middle of a stream, but the pinball machines are all side by side, so I've done that before. But the arcade games require quite a bit of configuration on the cameras to try to optimize the viewing of the CRT monitor. So that's why you'll see like the screen looks like it's rolling a little bit, because the cameras pick up that refresh rate. Oh, here we go. Double team. Come on. Come on, Hogan. Big boot. There we go. Earthquake splash. Look at that. DiBiase's trying to kick me off, but he's not in position. Awesome.
Now go for the next match.
I still have 3 credits left. I'm still in the first quarter for my last remaining dollar.
Time to fight with a powerful challenge. We snack on danger, dine on death. Confound every gerbil face dish we face. Yeah!
Man, the Legion of Doom are so difficult. They are awesome. So I'm probably going to have to use a credit just to survive this. Sometimes they'll let you get some offense in at the beginning, and as soon as they take oh, look at that, he just ducked it. Only the Legion of Doom can duck attacks like that, which is pretty awesome looking. That was actually really cool. Especially hitting that flying clothesline. And they're also the only ones that I know of that can let go of a grapple and put you into a stun state, which would be awesome if you could do that as a player, because there's a lot of moves that would be really good to initiate from that position. So very likely what's going to happen here, once he tags out to Animal, I'm going to get the Doomsday device. So I'm going to try to wait to buy in the extra credit until that happens, because it's almost a guarantee at this point. Yep, right here it is. Alright, gotta buy in. Totally no sell the Doomsday device. Lucky. It's usually a bad idea to Irish whip the Legion of Doom, because they can also stop as they're running towards you and you think they're about to come in for a move. You hit the button and they just stop right in front of you and then immediately hit you with something. So the best strategy here is very quick tags. Get one move off and then tag out. And usually, there we go. Sleeper. I was going to go for the grip for the double team, but if you're too close to the ropes, oftentimes your partner will just stand there and look at you. And then you end up standing around doing nothing, and then they kick out, or they'll elbow you in the side. Ooh, that was lucky. Wow, and Animal hit Hawk. That was great. So I don't know if it made any... I always do it, but I don't know if it actually matters. When you get whipped into the ropes by the opponent, if you hold down and just press the buttons like crazy, I think that gives you a better opportunity to grab onto the ropes instead of rebounding back. Yeah, like that. And then I ducked it. Because a lot of times Hawk will do that, and he'll follow you in with a huge clothesline. So even if you grab the ropes, if you don't immediately pull down, he's gonna plow into you with a clothesline. And even if you miss, or he misses, then usually Animal will follow up with a punch. Jeez, they took almost all my life down, but... Oh, there we go. Let's try it. Nope. So he's going over there. If you touch him when he's walking for the tag, you're gonna get screwed. So it's better to wait and let him tag out. Even though... Jeez. And I think your ring position also has something to do with the advantage. That's why I always like to pull him over to my side of the ring. Makes for easier tags. Like, he's not even coming out. He knows what I'm doing. Oh. So if they're taunting, don't swing anything until they're done taunting. You can hit your partner too, so it's a good idea not to swing if they're in the way. Well, I've got to get back in. Oh, here it is again. Doomsday Device. So I'm going to have to use another credit. I got here at 1 credit, and I'm probably going to spend the rest of my 75 cents just trying to win this match, and I may not even win it. And yet sometimes I can win this match on a single credit if I started out with a brand new credit right at the beginning of the match. Alright, so he's laying sideways, which is a good sign. That means I can hit the splash on him. So I'm definitely going to win this one now. Maybe. Second guess myself because this is the Legion of Doom. There it is. Ooh, nice. Got him. And I've got almost full life now, and 1 extra credit, so we'll probably get through at least 1 more, maybe 2 matches. Not sure if I'll be able to get back to the Legion of Doom for the second time. That's the only way on the tag mode to actually put your initials in. You have to go through and defeat them twice, which is a total of about 8 matches. But we'll see how far I can get on a single dollar. So we're on our 3rd quarter, and we've got 1 left. Ooh, they're using weapons now. Wow, I'm going to get some great advantage off of this. This is risky right here. Oh, he'll make it in. Oh, come on. Oh, tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. That's his finisher. In the game, at least. Which means I'm not in good position to win this match. Without buying in again. Maybe. Let's... Oh, I got slow walk. Come on. Slaughter has the submission finish, which is not really the Cobra Clutch, but they call it that. Jeez. Nope. Now we're on our final credit. It should be weak enough to be finished off here pretty quick. Oh no! Ah. That really did not work in my favor at all. Ooh, that was good. Might win it right here. Yep. And let's watch Earthquake splash nothing.
Now go for the next match.
Alright, so we've got almost full life for this match, but I've got my doubts on whether we're going to get through it, especially with the Ultimate Warrior in there. I'm going to try my strategy of frequent tags to conserve my energy and let some of it build up while they're out there on the apron. Yeah, one thing to keep in mind, the standing kick is the stupidest thing to ever attempt. Unless the guy is actually being held in position or he stands up weak. The kick animations, the feet don't even go out as far as the arms do. Whereas like the punch, you can do like that and just step back and punch. But the kick doesn't even reach as far as your punch does. So the kick is pretty pathetic. Which is odd because in the game before this, WWF Superstars, the kicks are highly effective, as are the punches, but the kicks are actually really effective in that game. And Superstars, if you haven't played it, the animation and art style is almost identical to Double Dragon. So it's like the Double Dragon fighting style, like the punches, and it looks kind of like the bad guys from Double Dragon, the Abobo. The fighting animation looks almost identical to that. Alright, so I'm going to tag back out to Earthquake. Quick tags, recovering little bits of life each time. So typically if you go to their head to lift them up off the mat and they roll out of the way, it's very likely that when you go to grapple them, they're going to have the advantage that next time. So you're better off trying to get away and tagging out. And I didn't, and now I'm stuck here. Come on. So I better get in. Oh, is he going to make it? Yep. Oh, here we go, double team. You gotta find like the right spot and time your kicks though, when they're being held like that. Sometimes you can really get a good advantage with it, other times, like that one, I only got 2 kicks, and it ended up costing me, I think, a little bit more than it should have. Alright, good, he's weak. Oh, come on. Kick him off. Warrior still has too much life, even though Jake is ready for a splash. Good, I'm getting 3 big moves in a row. That's probably all I'm going to get. Yep. So right there, big advantage for sticking it out by my corner. Ooh, that was good. And the timer's coming down, so... Oh, here we go. And Jake's getting the fake Cobra Clutch. Come on, get up. Get up, Slaughter. There we go. I think we got him. Yep. Nice.
Now go for the next match.
So that was barely squeaked by with a win. This is going to be the final match of the night because I have no more credits left and my life is nearly gone. So we'll try to conserve it as much as we can. Oh, boss man. Oh, I'm surprised he didn't do Oh, that's the end right there. Come on, kick him. Oh, just barely. Oh, there's the boss man slam. Kick out. Nope. And that's it. Alright, well I've been going for over 2 hours on 30 credits. So that was fun. I think this is the first stream I've had not a single chat message come through the window. But thank you to everybody who's watched. Hope you enjoyed it. It says we've got still 5 viewers, so thank you again to everybody watching. Special thanks to Pappy7 for the follow. Really appreciate it if you're still hanging in there. I see we've got Ray Skeezy82. Thanks for watching. And if you like what you saw, go ahead and click follow. I'll come back with more pinball and arcade games later in the week. So thanks again, everybody, and we'll catch you later.